Everyone. Welcome to another Journalist Toolbox training. My name is Mike Reilley, the founder and editor of the Journalist Toolbox. Today we're going to talk about expert databases and being able to go into those databases and pull out names and background information on experts that can help you as sources on stories. This is really good for reporters who are covering COVID issues, writing about any type of story where they need an expert source. It's good for college students. A lot of times it's hard for young students right out of the gate to get sources in their contacts list. This is a good way to locate them very quickly and find sources that are cooperative that want to talk about their area of expertise. So if you go to the Journalist Toolbox, there is an expert sources page right down here on the left-hand side, expert sources right there. When you go to that page, I've got several good databases right up here at the top of the page. It goes on and on with listing all kinds of other databases in here. Expert Engine's a very good one. Google Scholar we're going to look at in just a minute. Expert File is very good, so is Coursera. We're also going to work with Expertise Finder in this exercise today. So those will be the two links that you'll open. They're listed right here, expertisefinder.com. and Google Scholar, scholar.google.com or google.com/scholar will get you there. And here's the link to the experts page on the Journalist Toolbox. So the Expertise Finder, very simple tool. This was created in 2010 by a CBC TV producer who had the job of hunting down expert sources for various news programs. Very challenging job. Many of you out there probably have held that job at one time or another or currently hold it. Finding these experts can be very challenging. So he actually went into business of creating this database. Universities use it to drive results to their faculty members, get them mentioned in the media. This is helpful for tenure and promotion. So there's a little area up here called Become an Expert where you can go in if you have an area of expertise and fill this out. They'll evaluate you at Expertise Finder and decide whether they want to list you as an expert in their database. They also create a directory software that you can purchase as well, but the Expertise Finder itself is free. So let's say you're doing a story on robotics, and you can type in robotics into the search engine, and it gives you some subtopics, medical, robotics, things like that, but I'll just do a broad search on robotics. And it starts to give you the bios. The one drawback here, it should give you a little short bio of them here, but it does give you a photo name and then gives you the search keywords that you use to find this person in the database. And of course, ours is robotics. So you can just click on the view profile and it will give you information about the expert. A little short bio here, a link off to his faculty page, and then up here where he's located, his email address and his phone number to his office, and sometimes it lists their cell as well. You can't expand on their bio. It goes much deeper. It lists his area of expertise over here. So quick little bio here. Again, it's good for kind of a quick and dirty search if you're trying to find someone very quickly, or you can spend some time here and just kind of go through a lot of them and figure out what you want to find or narrow your search. But in a broad search like this is a good quick way to find contact information for somebody that when they pick up the phone, they're not going to be upset that a reporter's calling them. They know that they're listed in these expert databases, and they're more often than not going to be responsive and cooperative. Keep in mind that they do have motivation for talking to you. Being able to list that they've been quoted in a publication or appeared on a news program is helpful for them in promotion and tenure. So that's the reason that they like to be listed in these expert databases. Expertise Finder is just one of many. I've got others listed up here, Expert File, and again, I mentioned earlier, Expert Engine's a really good one. Another really good one is Diverse Sources. It's good for finding expert sources. Women Plus, which you can find expert sources on who are all women, which is really good for diversity, and it's diverse sources too. Women Also Know Stuff Experts database is a good one too. It's got more than 1,600 people in it. So there's all kinds of tools and resources in here to help you find these different expert sources in the Journalist Toolbox. So that's Expertise Finder. Google Scholar is a tool that searches journal articles, academic research articles, and also case law. So you can search by certain courts, not criminal cases, but case law, civil cases, things like that. And one thing that's kind of a byproduct of Google Scholar is when you're searching for articles, let's say I want to find an academic journal article on voter redistricting. I can type in voter redistricting. It takes me to all these stories here that are publications that have been posted. You can narrow it and sort it by date over here, and narrow your search a little bit. But what's interesting here is it lists the authors here by the name of the article and by the name of the publication, the date it was published, things like that. And what happens here is you can go in and click on, if the name is underlined, that author appears in Google Scholar. His title appears up here, what university he's at, link to his homepage, his other publications. You can also click on this and follow him. So whenever he posts somewhere, you'll receive an email saying he's posted a new article somewhere in an academic journal. He's been published there. And again, these publications aren't every day. They're going to be maybe a couple of times a year. They don't publish that often. So you'll just get an update. If this is somebody that you think is going to be an expert you need to use more than once, you can definitely get a hold, track them by hitting that follow button so you don't have to keep going in and searching them. Again, you want to hang on to the contact information. It's really nice here too. It lists all of their previous publications, how many times they were cited and what year. The link to the homepage is very valuable because that will list information about them and email address. Sometimes too, it'll list their phone number, things like that. His is pretty detailed. He's got his email address and his Vita here, and also his mailing address as well. Doesn't have a phone number there, but you can at least email him. Again, anybody that's listed in Google Scholar, they want their academic journals published there. They're usually pretty open to being interviewed for a story. So these are good sources that you can go in and pull out very, very quickly out of Google Scholar. And plus you can go through and read some of their articles, get some background on their area of expertise and also on them as well by reading through that bio. So that's Google Scholar, an expertise finder, a couple of really handy tools for finding experts very quickly. Again, good for TV producers, reporters, particularly young reporters who are still developing some sources. Take advantage of these tools, and we'll see you next time.